With this video, I would like to show you how to determine the mean and the standard deviation for a small set of numbers. And so here we have a small set of numbers, 5, 10, 22, 16, and 20, and I would like to use the calculator to determine the mean and the standard deviation for that set of numbers. And again, we're in normal mode here. Remember that you can always go to normal mode by pressing mode and 0. 0 will always take you to normal mode, but we don't want to be in normal mode in order to do the statistics here. We want to be in stat mode. So stat mode is mode 1. So I'm going to key in 1 for stat mode, and then you'll see that I have several options in stat mode. 0 is SD, that stands for single dimension or one-dimensional statistics. 1 stands for linear relationship, that's two variables and linear statistics. 2 is quadratic. 3 is exponential, 4 is logarithmic, and 5 is power equation. Let's check the down arrow button to see if there's any other options on page 2. Oh yes, there are. There are two more options, inverse and G exponential. So let's go back to the page. We have here single dimension statistics. We only have one variable, and we'll call that variable x. So I'm going to enter in 0 for single dimension. So it'll be 0. And now I'm asked to enter in my data. So I'm going to enter in single dimension data, and I'm going to key in 5 for the first value, so 5. And remember that these are data values, so I'm going to be using this data key here. So I'll press the data key right away, and you'll see that I've got data set equal to 1 on my screen. That's great. That tells me that I'm on the right track, and I now know that I am entering in my data set. And now I need to enter in the second value. The second value is 10, so I'm going to key in 10 and press the data button. And the data button is right here on the right hand column. And now I know I've entered in data set 2. Now I'm going to key in 22, so 22 and press the data button. And now I'm going to enter in 16 for the fourth data item, 16, and press data. Each time check to make sure that you've got the data entries made correctly, and 20 to enter in the last data item. So now I've got data set equal to 5 completed. Now, are you ready to get all the statistics that we want out of this calculator? Well, what you'll notice is that we've entered in the 5 data items, and we've got data set equals to 5 at the top of the screen. These are x values, and so if I wanted to know the sum of all of the x values, you can see that right above the decimal point we have sum of x. So I'm going to press alpha, because it's green, I'm going to press alpha sum of x, and you now have to press the enter button, and the sum of all of the x values is 73. So that tells us that the sum of all of the x values is 73. If I added up all 5 of these values, I would get a total of 73. I can also see next door to that is sum of x squared. So the sum of the squares, that would be alpha sum of the squares, is equal to, and the sum of the squares, in other words, 5 squared plus 10 squared plus 22 squared plus 16 squared plus 20 squared, that will add up to 1265. These are the values, these are the two, and of course n is equal to 5 because there are 5 data points in here. But these values are the values that are critical in determining the average or the mean and the standard deviation. The mean is is denoted by x bar, and I will find the x bar right here above the 4. It's green, so I'm going to press alpha x bar, and alpha x bar is equal to, the average value is equal to 14.6, so the average of all 5 values is 14.6, and the standard deviation of the 5 values is going to be obtained by using either this key, the 5 key, SX, or sigma x. So I'm going to use the 5 and explain the difference between the two of them. Alpha SX, standard deviation, is equal to SX key, and I'll write SX. That standard deviation is equal to 7.0. I'm going to round that off to 3 significant digits, 7.06, and that's assuming that this data came from a sample. So SX is the standard deviation if this data consisted of a sample, which is really a subset of a population. If this came from a population, we would use sigma x. So from a population, in other words, if these values were all the values that existed, we would use sigma x bar, and we would have alpha sigma x. And the standard deviation, if this was from the population, would be a value of 6.31. And so these are the values the statistical values for this small set of 5 data items. Now, if you were going to enter in some more data items, let's just say we were going to enter in another data set, you would have to make sure that when you went back to your calculator that you would press second clear all. Second clear all. Now where's the clear all key? It's right above here. So second clear all to reset it back to 0. Otherwise you will be simply adding to the existing 5 numbers a continuous data set. So remember to clear your registers to 0 so that you can enter in fresh data.